Okay, I don't know what happened. Bear with me with my internet and my stuff. When you live with other people, you tell them you're going live, and then the minute you're about to press the button, oh, I didn't get my phone. So, hi, welcome to this live. I hope to have more of these regularly, at least once a month here on YouTube, and maybe more often, probably more often, my Patreon. So check that out in the description if you're interested in that. You hear more about that. Um, going to have multiple screens up here. I have my phone recording the face because it has a better camera than the webcam, which I don't understand. That's about however. I'm going to check if you want to let me know. Oh, sorry. Hi guys, this is Lashette from Scarlet Blue Creations, and I'm back. I just realized about the music, so please excuse me. And maybe in the future I will have uh, more people. These lives I hope to have at least once a month here on Instagram. I mean, on Instagram, on YouTube, if not more often. Let me just double check how this looks and sounds. Bear with me. I try to figure out how this works. This is more elaborate alive than I've done in the past, and I'm not sure uh uh how things will work. Okay, so looks okay. I'm gonna add in my other screen here. That is my desktop, and since the video quality is lesser, I thought it, more appropriate. And just in general, uh, until I figure out this issue with this other camera, I realize part of my issue. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Let's block all of the notifications that might be coming through. Okay. Um, Here we are. I have two options, and if you are here, let me know your thought. what the plan is for this the study with me lives for tarot and or divination is to give me a specific time to study tarot. And I've learned that when I'm doing with other people, it helps. It also helps if I am setting a specific day and time to do these things. And a way for that to work for me is to have these lives. I do have plenty of friends online that also do tarot and oracle readings for themselves or for others. Those who like, what do you call it? Mm, mm, mm. Astrology, charm casting, dice casting, since I know that's become a bigger thing with followers of Lisa Pepez and Dawn Michelle. So I've done it at least once. But yeah, studying certain decks has been a thing that's been on my mind for a while, and I just want to go into it. Now, I have two deck and study options here, and I'll try to show them to you simply. The first is the Spirit Keeper Tarot. That will, oh, there we go. Spirit Keeper's Tarot, and I'll show it up here as well. And this deck is by Benabel Wen. I'll put links in the description after the live is over. But it's a very esoteric deck, and it's a deck you can also use regularly, like you would any other deck, but also to connect with spirits, which it's up to you if you decide you want to do that or not. But there's a lot of knowledge in this deck, and the book of maps and the various journals of the three editions, essentially, that Benabel has published so far. Technically four, but with the first edition, the black and white one for this deck, the call it journal 22 weeks with Spirit Keepers Tarot came with that edition. It's available for purchase separately. I don't have it yet, but there was a version that came with this version, which is the third edition, the Revelations, the full color, just to give you an idea. And it's a practice of doing various rituals over the course of a week, and also studying the deck and the cards themselves. There's a lot of symbolism in these cards, and I I like learning. You'd say I'm nosy too, but I'm very curious, and I started or restarted the 22 weeks practice this week. So I have some things I can be doing. I am, I guess, technically behind on this, on studying the individual cards. For the first week, we're supposed to study the Initiate card, the Magus, and then the four aces. So 6 cards this week, and I've only had a chance to study 2, which is okay. Not a big deal. That's if you go in the order that Benabel suggests, again, and it's a suggestion. You can go in any order, like pull a card a day or pull cards every day or what have you, and study and scry with that card. Scrying is included. Um, this would be the journal I'm using. Call it my divination journal. Just I'm holding it up here so you can see with a better quality camera. Um, I've used this in the past. Ignore the tissue. You don't need to know about that. Uh, and I used it for a couple of years. This was an old like journal diary that I got from an old job, and I just cover up the dates and with washi and correction fluid, go about my business. Uh, However, actually, I don't think I'll be using this one for this. So anyway, 22 weeks. Back to that. I have this journal, which is my spiritual journal. It's falling apart. I've had it a long time. This is what happens to moleskines, by the way. The soft cover ones, unless you're extra precious with them. But I'm only using this as reference because I wrote down keywords for what I'm supposed to do each week in the 22 weeks, or each day of each week in the 22 weeks. Saturdays are they ruled by Saturn, and one of the things is dedicating time to study and practice. I meant to do this yesterday, but I got called into work essentially on an event uh, several hours earlier than I usually am for this event. It's an annual one, and I'm not complaining. So that's why I want to do these regularly. If I do them, I want to do them on Saturday morning, so you can look out for future videos of me going live on Saturdays to study tarot or an oracle deck or a astrology. I need to get back to that. So yeah, as far as studying the Spirit Keepers Tarot Revelation Edition, I don't have any of the notebooks and things printed out, which I'm realizing just now I forgot to pull up the files on my computer. So when you purchase the deck, you get access to certain files. Well, if you purchase those files, you can purchase them separately because some are with specific decks only. And it's just an extra price because Benabel does not print them out. She sent you PDF files. So the book of maps, which is like the guidebook, which is chunky, it's like 700 some pages, and or the journals and guidebooks and things like that. I so far have been using the digital journal and my workbooks are all there. So I'll be reading off the screen. I hope that's not too off-putting for you if I do the Spirit Keepers Tarot. Now, the other option, of course, in the middle of several, is a Deviate Moon Tarot. Now, I talked about this a little bit with Laura from Aquamarine 18 Tarot and Books. I've had this deck for ever. And yeah, it's falling apart. I have the original bordered. And now, what I talked about briefly in the comment section with Aquamarine 18 was, studying a deck and what study book you would use. Now, I'm aware there is a ginormous book that came out separately from Patrick Verlenza, the creator of this deck. I have not purchased it yet because one, it's huge. It's like a coffee table book, but it does go in more depth, I think, with a lot of the cards from this. However, um, the I don't have the space for it, and it's not cheap. So that's for later. This deck, I also have a junk journal study book that I'm working on, so it doesn't have a cover. Filling in the pages as I go. And last year, I think it was last year, um, instead of that chunky book, I finally reading 78 Degrees of Wisdom to study with this deck. And I was also doing the 78, I forget what it's called, but it's a practice created by Mindful Tarot here on YouTube and in their Facebook group. And it's, you take 78 days to study and connect with a card from one deck. And the way they put it together, we started with Pentacles, and then we did, let me do it this way so you can see as well. Pentacles, and then we did Wands, and then we did Cups. You can see some of my junk journal pages here, and then Wands, and then we're supposed to go to the major arcana from there. So that's the order I've been reading 78 Degrees of Wisdom. And so I have my weird bookmark here, which is a piece of paper folded in half to get new ones. I made it to 5 of Wands. So I have the rest of the wands to study and the major arcana. These should not be very long. I think that something popped up on my screen here. The complexity of this is going to be that which will I study? I think for this particular week, I'll be doing the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. So yes, please. The study with me will be like a combination of reading, sprints, and maybe a little discussion. Maybe some journal with me, but specifically for tarot. I will say this, I have a journal with me live scheduled for next Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I might leave the journaling aspect for then, but I have other types of journals I like to do. So we'll see how that goes. I'm thinking we start out with a 30-minute sprint or reading time. And to go easy on my computer, Uh, well, actually, we'll start out with a 25-minute round. So yeah, to go easy on my computer, we are going to use my phone here. Oh, it's not in the camera range. I didn't realize. Let me know how that looks. Because honestly, this is reading. I don't have a physical book, like I said, for the. Oops, sorry about that. Are you like? Oh, there we go. There we go. Now you know. Oh, sorry, guys. So it is 12:30 now. Let us get started. I am going to mute myself and probably turn off this camera. Um, Possibly turn off this camera and oh wait, let me get the banner ready. And go across the bottom. I'll put that. There. Oh boy, now what? All right, well, guys, return back at 55 on the hour, wherever you are, because it started. Hello, hello. Apologies, I realized that's not the best breakup. Hello, everyone. We are back, and I'm gonna put timer for 5 minutes. Maybe doing these like Pomodoro sprints is an option. So I didn't read a lot this time. Oh, please do let me know if you can hear me or not. There's some playing with this. Like I said, I haven't quite done this before yet. So trying to make sure everything is working properly. What was I going to say here? So that was our first 30-minute sprint. We'll chat a bit for about 5 minutes, like Pomodoro. Okay. I don't know why it says it lost contact with my mic, but everything seems to be a-okay. Um, so yeah, I realized in the switch, I guess, of all the things, that I needed to download my files here for studying the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. I showed you a little bit what that looks like on my screen at first, but we are back now. Let me know what deck you are currently studying, if you're studying a specific deck, or maybe you're just reading a book like 78 Degrees of Wisdom or anything else. If you're not studying tarot or some other divination tool, let me know what you're reading or what productive thing you are doing. Thank you, Christina, and thank you for reminding people to hydrate. I have got this is a water bottle, by the way, uh, created to look like a beer can, and I got it at an event in New York. The Queen's Botanical Garden, by the way. Oh, something just popped on my screen. Okay, okay. That's fine. I will say that I do not know. I'm sorry, I'm responding to Christina's comment. But I don't drink coffee. So I'm a little sleepy, but it is all right. That's okay. So I think something is popping up on my screen. It just all went white. Yeah. I got only a couple of pages in because I was downloading some stuff. So I'm an overachiever chronically, and that means that I have oh the original Spirit Keeper's Tarot Book of Maps, which is like the guidebook, and then I've got the Vitruvian edition, which was the second edition, the little white book for that. I decided because I think the guidebooks are pretty much the same. And then I have the guidebook or book of maps for my edition, Revelations edition, that's here, all open. Plus, I have the little white book, which comes with it. If you don't know anything about tarot or oracle cards, a little white book is literally usually a book that comes in the box with the deck. Um, Usually something that fits and in the box, and it's a little white book. So I have the physical one that came with my deck, plus the book of maps, which I said is like 700 pages, digital file, and the tarot study journal. I'm using that to take my notes um, for each card. The the unfortunate thing about the study journal is the fact that unlike the other books, it doesn't come with the bookmarks. So you just do what you do and hope for the best. Let me turn that one off. It's not loading. I'm not loading fully. I'll give it a little bit longer. So yeah, as a reminder, I have a reason, a good reason, I think, for why I don't have a timer on the screen. Whenever I do that and share screen with like a video, my whole situation gets messed up. So I don't know about you guys, but that's not helpful. Um, yes, yes. Christina says, so you can bookmark certain pages you want to go back to later? Yes. PDFs do give you that option. A lot of people use it to mark the chapters. So at the end, you get like a table of contents. So you can jump between chapters and sections without having to scroll forever. So, like this document I'm currently reading from is the Book of Maps 2018 for the first edition of this deck. It's 408 pages. So, without, I'm going to try and show you the setting. Um, without those bookmarks, is it showing? Yes. Oh, wait, I have to tell it not to mirror my camera. There we go. Right, it's 408 pages. You can see that. These are all bookmarks on it, and without these, I would be scrolling forever to 408 pages. So right now, I'm studying the realm of the aces, Ace of Scepters, so it'll immediately jump to that. And so I don't have to scroll from all the way up here. Um, oh, hold on. That's the plus, the positive side of this. Let me put this back. In front and mirror the camera because otherwise I get confused. I get so confused. Come puzzled. Oh, don't do this to me now. You're sitting here so well earlier. So yeah, people use it as a yes. Yes. Yeah. The journal doesn't do that. I could put physical bookmarks in or tabs, like you said, post-it notes and that kind of thing, which would be nice. But I think like just flipping through a book goes quicker than flipping through a PDF file. But printing each one of these is probably about $15, which is not the end of the world. I just haven't done it yet. I got all of these pretty much around the same time, and I was like, just let me have the files first, and then because she doesn't print them for you, you have to print them for yourself. So I have to send it to a printer, and the one that is recommended that definitely know the price of is Lulu, and they they don't cost a lot. They just I think they do spiral bound, or that's the price for spiral bound notebooks, and I don't necessarily love those, especially for writing in. Um, that's my issue, not theirs. So yeah. Let me double check how many pages I got, even though I moved it. So I'm working on this, studying this Ace of Swords, Ace of God, Ace of Wands. In this deck, it's called Hallowed Flame, Ace of Scepters, the Awakening. And because it's the first ace, I started off with the beginning section about aces in general. One, two, yeah, I got about 2 pages with the downloading. To be perfectly honest, another reason I'm doing this is because studying nonfiction, reading nonfiction goes slower than fiction. And if we're studying, that's a whole other thing. So, that being said, I think I have everything. So, I can get back to it. This whole section. Oh, okay. Basically, I finished the entire Ace of Scepters section for myself for that book. If you are reading along, let me know how much you were able to read. And I think we will go on to the next section and look at the next section, the next booklet. Also, let me know if oh, lovely. I put up music for this, but if it's a problem, please do let me know. I don't want that. Try to keep it loose. I have a visitor, but we are gonna go back to another 30-minute or 25-minute and 25. So 30, 30, 32. Okay, we'll be back in 25 minutes at 32 past the hour. We're currently 12 past the hour. I'll see you guys shortly. Oh. Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone. Hi, we're back. How did you do with this sprint? I did very well. Since I wasn't downloading anything, I read all of the guidebooks, including the little white book here, and I started making notes in the journal. Oh yeah, I was studying the Ace of Wands, Ace of Scepters, sorry, in this deck, the Awakening, the Hollow Flame. How did you do? I neglected to mention that I have my air conditioner on. It is a very hot day. Um, Potentially hotter than yesterday. But I was at the beach literally 10 hours. So I'm good. I would love to get back in the water. I love getting back in the water. But after this, I am probably going to I'm going to have lunch. I've been snacking. And I'm going to take a nap. And then maybe do some non-study reading. Um, so at this point with this deck, I just have to write some notes. Uh, this deck is the Sacred Fire. It's really, really fascinating. So yeah, I'll finish writing my notes and then go right into scrying. So that's the next step. Doing scrying into the card. The ace. So, oh, sorry, Christina. I'm just seeing your comment. Uh, the aces are harder. I did the initiate and they might be on top. Yes, and the magus cards before. Magus. This one and this one. They're a little bit easier to grasp, even though you get so much more information from Benabel in the guidebooks. But I think that's on purpose. So, what do we got? Oh, I did some sprint hopping, drank more coffee, almost ready to start the day. It is rather warm here too. How many cups of coffee do you need to start, Christina? Mm. Uh, I wish I could go to the beach, but I burn within 5 minutes. Yeah. So the event I was working, it's run by a friend of mine. Um, Check out Curvily on Instagram or her website. We know that's not a real word in English, but she is a plus size fashion influencer. That is her job, and she does it well. And as part of that, she does these events throughout the year so that plus size women can get together. And the beach day is an annual event. officially for regular attendees, it's from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., but we get there early to set up. That's where the work comes in. Set up and break down. Um, Setting up umbrellas and towels and snacks and all of the stuff, carrying all of these things to the beach. We usually go a couple of hours earlier, but yesterday, I guess she and her husband have been to the beach a couple of times and noticing that the trip by car was taking almost 2 hours now when that was not the case in previous years. So they were like, let's go at 8 a.m. And I'm like, excuse me? So yeah. Um, they picked me up like 8:15 and we got there around 8, 9:15, 9:30. We found a parking spot, which has never happened before, and logged everything 'cause the parking spot was nowhere near where we needed to set up. You have to get a permit for these things. And after we set up, we took a nap and then still. So my friend Sarah is also pale, Christina, and part two of my job is reminding her to put on sunblock and sunscreen because just a few minutes and it's over. There's no stopping her from getting sunburns, but keeping it to a minimum is the goal. So yeah. We both love the beach and water, so it's a fun time with friends as well. So yeah, uh, all that sun, yeah. The water reflects the sun, so even if you have a hat on, the water underneath reflects the sun. The sand reflects the sun, guys. So you know, even walking around on the street, concrete reflects the sun. So even being in your yard, if you don't have like a lot of grass, or even if you don't have a lot of grass, um, greenery or just dirt, just playing in your backyard, you will get a sunburn even if you have a hat on. So, because the concrete reflects sunlight and you'll get it from below rather than above. Just a little FYI, put that stuff on and reapply. Um, there were, though, was a lot of dragonflies, which creeps her out. However, I was like, this is a good thing because they eat mosquitoes, which much more of a bother. So keep that in mind, guys. Okay. Thanks for vibing. Let me know how the music is. Uh, no worries. I'm on my first cup. The boys, oh, that is so nice. Yes, yes. Um, Another TMI, my friend, Nigel, Sarah's husband, he works for NBC. He was up at 5 a.m. our time yesterday because of work. His team is creating the Olympic medal count chart and keeping it up to date for NBC. So, guys, go watch NBC, go watch Peacock. Whenever you see the medal chart that lists all the countries, like how many medals and what type of medals the US has versus Australia versus China versus South Korea, there are people working nonstop behind that. He was up at 5 a.m. because that was when the first medal was won. So yeah, it's very nice that they let you sleep in. It's deserved. Everybody deserves to sleep in. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I think for certain people it needs to be caked on, and that's just not a viable solution. Yeah. the reflection. They're pretty, but some people are like, eh. I get it. Also, with me, like they'll bump into you, like bees too. I'm not bothered by bees. But you're walking and they're flying, and sometimes they bump into you. They're not attacking you like a mosquito or any of these biting flies that we have around. But yeah, some people can't take that. I have my own issues with certain bugs or insects, so I'm not even gonna say anything negative. Oh, working on a painting series that is dragonfly. Ooh, that turned into a. Ooh. I can understand why that would give you issues. Okay, I love doing art. I'm not like a professional. It's just purely amateurish and not a lot of practice. Whenever you get that middle one done to your satisfaction, I would love to see it. This sounds amazing. And I also love the face, so let's go. Let's go. Um, we are past the time I was thinking of to start our next sprint, but I'm gonna give it another minute. So at 1:50, let me get the banner ready because I wasn't ready last time. I don't know if you noticed the time change. Oh wait, the not only the time change, but my mistake. Like what? Okay, so and we'll be back at 15 past the hour. That is for me 2:15. Okay, you guys. I am going to get the music going and we will see you next one. Sorry about that. Oh wait, how do I get back to myself? Oh, hello, hello, welcome back. I no, I said 2:15. I went over because I was watching a video that I just remembered existed, or I was watching the last part of the video, and Christina had me worried. But yes, I did the math right this time. We just swapped brain cells apparently. Uh, so yeah, how was that 25 minutes? I think I started to say this but didn't get to it during the last break. So the final piece of studying an individual card and for this deck is scrying or kind of journeying into the card, path working, there we go. And so that's what I did this sprint. I finished up my notes and oh, you know what? I think I'm doing this wrong. There we go. I have to respell something. So I think, yeah, I'm not supposed to be doing path working, which, it's fine. I'm supposed to be doing scrying. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. And yeah, so I'm done with the card. I think in the future I can do longer sprints, right? Of course I can. I can do sprints however long I feel like doing. Um, but for this particular practice of studying the tarot, I think 25 minutes is long enough for this first time. Like 25-minute block, like Pomodoro sprints, 25 minutes working, 5 minutes taking a break. Um, I was hoping to get to more, but I wasn't fully prepared when I went live. Um, I didn't think about some other stuff. So there's that. Also realizing I'm just in here twice. I could have sent myself a link to be a guest. Made that a little bit easier, but that's okay. The only other thing I really wanted to do is I have my reading from the weekly reading, and I need to reflect on that and journal. But I think I'm going to do that after I have lunch. Okay. I made lunch for my kiddo and read a little. What are you reading, Christina? I'm curious. I know these friends. When I'm reading fiction, I definitely would be irked by 30-minute sprints only. Because if it's a good book, you get into it, and then I'm like, I don't want to stop at 30 minutes. But like I said, I'm reading nonfiction, and it's for study purposes, and also it's esoteric. So I have to give my brain a little bit of time to remember what certain words mean. And sometimes I have to reread things a couple of times to get the gist. Let me see if I can find you an example. Oh, Christina is reading The House Across the Lake. Is this what do you call it? Horror? Sounds like, or thriller? That's what it sounds like. So yeah, that's not the stereotypical reading sprint. Waiting for something to open, but maybe I just use this one. Let me see if I can give you an example. So, oh, let me just pull up this guy here. Like making my life so difficult. Um, no worries on the short sprints. I'm supposed to be getting chores done that I did not do yesterday because of my birthday. Oh, happy belated birthday. I hope it was an enjoyable one, even though you woke up at 5 a.m. and went to bed late. I hope that means good things. And if you're just like celebrating, however long you feel like celebrating on whatever time frame, I hope it was enjoyable. So I'm going to read part of the section about this card, the Ace of Scepters, Hollowed Flame, to give you an idea why this esoteric nonfiction takes a little bit longer to fully comprehend. Right? Reading is not just seeing the words on the page. It's understanding what they mean individually and then together in sentences and in a paragraph and seeing that they make a point in the text, right? So, Hollowed Flame, Ace of Scepters, a switch inside you has turned on your creativity and productivity and ingenuity. Fire is alchemizing in your world, materializing as a creative project, an innovative new venture, a birth entrepreneurship, or the spark of inspiration for a passion project. So the Little White Book is a little more modern day, modern, non-esoteric language used. Right? In the Book of Maps, the guidebook, the official chunker, uh, bear with me, 'cause it's behind the camera. That's why I've been turning off the camera, because I need to move it to read the screen. Okay, a torch features a power cross with the alchemical sun of Cintrinides at its crux. This is the torch of knowledge and wisdom, the quality of synergy. There are, in effect, two different scepters represented here to symbolize the balance and dichotomy, and sometimes even the innate tensions between the spiritual authority and temporal authority. It is also to signify the double wand of power as first referenced in Key 20 Apocalypse. Yes. Let's see. The Ace of Scepters and Sacred Fire give rise to the March equinox, corresponds with the ascendant. When the Ace of Scepter appears, you are rising upward, rising toward an important milestone of self-actualization and a clearer understanding of who you are and why you're here. So, yeah, definitely English, but um, like think of these guidebooks, even the little white books for tarot and oracle cards, as like technical books, right? You get your new device and you look at the booklet that comes with it. It's filled with tech specs, right? And terminology that's only used in this specific case. Um, so if you don't read that terminology every day, it even if you read it regularly, just not every day, you have to give your brain a time to adjust. It's like a different dialect in the same language is, I guess, another metaphor I could use. But okay. Hey Coda, I see you. Welcome to my sprints. We're almost done. I'm debating if I'm going to do another one or not. I don't think I am. I think that was my last sprint. Um, but thank you for stopping by. Are you still doing, was that 24 hours live stream or is that over? I think that was yesterday. I saw it in passing because I had to work yesterday. Yeah, okay. Ooh, Riley Sager is a him. I was not aware of this because I have not read any of their books, but I've heard lots of them. I'm starting to, I think, pick up what type of what do you call them? How thrillers are titled. Not that I've never read thrillers. I just haven't in any recent years. Uh, okay, let's see. You are very welcome. And it was very enjoyable. I saw most of my kids, yay, talked to the other one on the phone and read and then watched the show with all the boys until late. But I wore my tiara all day, as you should, as you should. Queen, Queen Christina. I'm glad you had an enjoyable birthday. Yes, I'm going to end now. Thank you so much for joining me. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. And yes, Christina, follow what she says. Hydrate, hug the like button, please. I plan to do this on Saturdays. Maybe not every Saturday here on YouTube. Um, some of them will be for my patrons. So if you like this, join me on Patreon. Uh, 24-hour sprints ended yesterday at 2 p.m. Oh, okay. Oh, Nicole sprints on your channel. Okay, okay. So I will probably be reading this evening because I'm not doing stuff like this on work. I'm reading. It's just default. So I will see you later, guys. Do come over to Coda's channel and check out sprints this evening at 7 Eastern. And thank you, everyone, for joining me, for joining us. And I will see you on Tuesday, actually. I'm doing journaling sprint. So if you want to journal with me, break out your reading journal or your junk journal or your regular journal, your tarot journal. I haven't figured out what journaling I'm gonna do because I have lots to update. And journal with me or read if you don't want to journal. I'll see you guys Tuesday for my next live. Look forward to updated videos before then. Thank you guys so much for watching.